Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Nissan 370Z Special Edition in multiplayer in Asphalt 8. Now, I won this car not too long ago, and I've tuned it 0505 and in Pro Kits 5555. I was one of the only few YouTubers I think who won this car below 1500 rank, and something weird about the R&D was that the final AI was not really any harder than the AI that was before it, which was the first AI in Lab 4. If anything, it was a little bit easier, at least for me. So our first race here is on Transylvania. Thankfully, in the 3 most recent Asphalt 8 videos that I've done, including this one, I believe I've had at least one race in Transylvania in all of those videos, which I do want to do, and I hope to keep doing, because I really like the track, and it's honestly one of my favorite ones in the game now. Without a doubt, the best thing about the most recent update to the game. So our competition here is an MP48, a Holden, and a bike, who I somehow knocked down at the beginning by him running into me. I know bikes aren't that sturdy or anything against cars, but that was a bit weird. Now, unfortunately, at the end of this race, I actually forgot to see what the cars were and what their ranks were, so that's why I can't give more detailed information about what the cars are in the race, because that's usually what I do in these videos. I go to the end of a race, see what the cars were that I faced, and then talk about what they were near the beginning of the race, in case any of you are wondering how I do that. And I also think we have an RX-8 SE in the race. Now, one reason that I pick this track over pretty much anything else that comes up is, well, because it's new and I really like it, but otherwise, because I just feel that I know it better than a lot of people, and so I can have a more chance of winning against some better cars, like that Holden, which we beat, and the MP48. So you may be thinking, wait, you're saying the MP48 is a better car than the 370Z SE? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Generally speaking, the MP48 is going to beat it. Now, in this video, I do come across quite a few of them, and let's say they don't do quite as well against me as I thought they might do, but the thing is, their speed at this rank is almost identical to mine, and they start up a lot faster. 265 miles per hour is actually really bad for this rank. So I must give this car the title of the worst SE in the game. It's kind of unfortunate because it looks really cool, but yeah, it just does not really stand out in multiplayer at all. Especially when you get passed by a Vanda Electronics Dendrobium, or whatever that car is called, because while that car is pretty good in multiplayer, it's also not the best, and yet it was passing me like I was nothing. So yes, the 370Z SE should really not be used in multiplayer all that much. Now, you can give it a shot if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend really using it in ticket races, as in this video I'm doing free races in it, because I'm actually around 1900 or so rating. I'm trying to get the Champion League to get the HTT Plethora as my 200th car, and I think I should be able to make it, but that's besides the point. This 370Z SE, if you got it, you should probably max pro it, because there's a good chance it could be the car king of Class C on Sector 8 and Sector 8 Reverse due to its good drifting at Max Pro. Unlike it at stock or with zero handling as I have now. It gets a lot better, apparently. I don't know myself, obviously, because I haven't upgraded it, but a lot of other people have, and that's what they say. It should probably replace the Alpine on those 2 tracks. Now, you may have noticed I said the car king of Class C. That's because the MV Augusta bike actually goes faster than the RX-8 in B class when it's supercharged, and it's a C class bike. So it really obliterates all cars. That is, only if you know how to drive it. So if you do not know how to drive bikes, or you simply don't like driving them, the Alfieri and this 370Z SE are probably your best bets. With that said, I still had fun driving this car, even though it's not especially great, because when I drive cars that are simply not as good, I like challenging myself just to see what sorts of cars I can beat. And in this race, because that MP48 and Van Direct were coming in second, with that SLK quite far in first. Yeah, I know it's not too good of a showing to barely beat an MP48 in a Vanda because they wrecked, but let's just say this car isn't capable of a whole lot more. However, in this next race, we're facing another MP48 on Munich, and this one actually goes a bit better. For some reason, at the beginning of this race, the MP48 tries to push me to the side. Thankfully, he doesn't knock me down, not exactly sure how, because he was going a whole lot faster than me, but I just think people have an adverse reaction to just seeing any special edition cars in multiplayer, even if they're not especially great, like this one, as you can see, really isn't. And I'm barely staying ahead of this MP48, who, guess what, is not even boosted. Yes, He's staying right behind me and he's not even boosted and I am. But yeah, when people who don't have special edition cars see one in multiplayer, they tend to go after them no matter what it is or how good it is. At least that's what I've seen in my experience. So I'd said about this car's drifting getting better as you upgrade it, but this was a bit odd because there hasn't been really any other cars in the game that it's been such a drastic difference in. Because when this car's handling was at stock, and I mean I hadn't upgraded anything on any of the pro kits that give handling, because I still haven't upgraded handling, this car drifted like one of the worst cars in the entire game. But at Max Pro, it drifts wonderfully, and that's just something that we haven't really seen in a bunch of other cars, and so I'm just wondering, why did they decide to do that? Anyways, here we beat this MP48, and then the next race we race a boosted MP48 as well as an M2 SE. The MP48 is triple boosted at rank 1524, and this M2 SE is double boosted, just Tunikit Nitro Starter at rank 1478 or so. And we've also got this other normal BMW M2, which is really not good at this rank, even worse than this car. Now, the car ahead of us is the MP48, and the one behind us is the M2 SE. Now, the M2 SE is faster than us by at least 20 miles per hour, so you will start to see him catch up, well, fairly quickly. And here we have yet another person who goes up that ramp. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but that seemed to be some sort of weird trend in videos of mine recently. It seems like somebody always does that for some reason. So even though this 370Z SE is not really as special feeling as other special edition cars, it is still a very fun one to drive. We go a bit too far to the right there, but thankfully we land straight and don't go off into the wall or something like that, but that allows the M2 SE to pass us. Here I tried to do the speed tricks over on the side, but the thing is, if you don't do those just right, you're going to lose speed rather than gain speed, which is why I probably should not have done it, and I wouldn't really recommend doing that in multiplayer unless you really get it down. And at the final turn, we pass this MP48 and come in second, with that M2 SE coming in first, and the M2 coming in last, which was rather expected. As you can see, I've made it up to 1931 rating, and because of that, I decided not to use this car in ticket races, because it really would just drop my rating a whole lot. As I've said in previous videos, I'm going to be going for the HTT Plethora, which I can get in Champion League. It will be my 200th car, assuming I can get there, which I should be able to since there is a good bit of time left, and I'm fairly close in rating. But anyway, I should be getting that as my 200th car and make a garage video at that point. Now I want to speak about a little something that's been coming up in my YouTube comments. Now, some people have been insinuating that because I'm in the Asphalt YouTube program, I somehow want Asphalt 8 to die because I want everyone to move to Asphalt 9 and I'm over promoting it. Like, really, guys, I want Asphalt 8 to continue going for as long as you guys do. I make projects in this game just as often as I make projects in Asphalt 9. I want the game to continue. It's just that I don't think it will. There's a difference between being realistic and foolishly optimistic. So now we've gotten that out of the way, let's get back to the race at hand. So we're in second place here. That R8SE is quite far ahead of us, and so we come in second. We're quite far ahead of all the other people in the race. And let's see what they were. They were, well, not much. That M2 SE was unboosted. Still, though, he's probably a bit faster than us, so I guess that's a little bit of an achievement. Now for our final race in the video, in which we are facing a rank 1441 MP48, who is triple boosted, and a bunch of worse cars. Now, for some reason, he doesn't shoot past at the beginning, that MP48. Actually, I think he just had a bad connection. He probably did. So now it's time for my general review about the car. As you've probably seen throughout this video, it's not especially great in multiplayer. However, it is the king of C-Class cars on Sector 8. If you don't like bikes, that's definitely the best thing you can do with it if you did manage to pick up this car. Now, if you did not manage to pick up this car, you're really not losing much, and so you really shouldn't worry about it, because hopefully you have the Alfieri or the Subaru Sparta, maybe even that bike, all of which do not differ a whole lot in performance to this car. Assuming you're not a bike king. Now, there are some bike kings out there on YouTube that drive these bikes and get crazy times in them, and if you're one of those, well, yeah, this car isn't going to be doing much for you. This route I'm taking here at the end of Barcelona is not necessarily the fastest route for slower cars like this one, but it's what I'm used to since I normally drive faster cars in multiplayer, so force of habit. Anyways, we round the final bend and come in, well, actually, we go the other lap, but I cut it out, so we come in first position. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt 8 and 9 content, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!